Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? I got kind of bad news. Well, this week episode of Boruto and Grimm, these episodes were relatively I don't know. They were just boring in my opinion. Besides, I feel like Grimm had a better episode, but Boruto, I am still contemplating dropping a video on what I saw. But other than that, guys, Grimm this week was phew, was very reminiscent of an old story that I thought of, and it was really funny to see or hear like the Japanese perspective on this situation that we, as like humans or whatever you want to, however you want to see it, we as people, created this scenario of Snow White and the Queen being these two women that, after being mistreated or finding out things that they didn't like about certain situations they were going to be in, they both vowed to pretty much figure out a way to, better their situations in any means necessary. So, with that being said, we easily get to see that honestly meant that they are ready to straight up body each other and should body each other, and if they don't, that means the whole entire thing was completely like weird and not the way it was supposed to be. So imagine if you actually care for your mom and you care for everything that she's done for you and stuff. But at the end of the day, your book that you have that you're supposed to follow down to the T tells you you're supposed to straight up end her life and, make her do a certain act. Once that thing is done, your journal's done. Like you completed your task, like that's pretty much what they're telling this young girl to do in, every single story that we've ever seen. Something bad happen to a mother and daughter, or a mother and or father and daughter, any relationships that are really bad. The This show is pretty much saying that somebody like a storyteller is the actual fault at this, and I love that overall, push towards saying just like this is wrong, this is not something that should be happening, but here we are, and we all know the story to a T, and if you don't know it, you definitely should understand just by watching this episode alone that whatever it is that these guys are putting these poor people through, they either find it entertaining or it doesn't seem that bad in their eyes, so it's like it's this weird situation that we've created by telling stories that all of a sudden, if you look at the actual grasp of the whole entire tale, you would be like, why does this thing exist? Like, we have a whole bunch of uh, dwarfs that are, incredibly cute, but just so stupid. Like, they've done this situation maybe 4 to 5 times for all we know, because from what they tell us, they're like, oh, yeah, we've been living for such a long time, it's hard to remember just what's happened, after all that time we've dealt with it. So it's like, okay, does that mean you does that mean you honestly been around almost for eternity dealing with a Snow White every once in a while and treating her like she's brand new every time you save her? So this could be going on for a long time, and from our characters just showing up and let me think. X, they called him X, and pretty much he shows up and gets uh, grabbed out of the bushes, or grabbed from the bushes of love. Look up the bushes of love if you don't know what I'm talking about. This was the scariest. They were right. the bushes of love do exist. But they snatched him up real quick, took him to where Snow White was because they've already practically know what to do in these situations. They're you know just dumb. They understand this aspect, but they for some reason didn't understand the aspect of, hey, you need to remember everything that's going on because it's a messed up tale, and you should just tell them not to forget about the love for each other. Love for each other? I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, oh boy. The dwarves were no help. Well, there are more elves in my opinion, like small elven dwarfs. Really weird mixture. But yeah, no, there was really no necessarily need to fight. It was more of a mother-daughter uh, weird third party with the mirror being manipulated, and the one almost feel like the mirror was supposed to be the chaos teller, but at the same time the story itself was corrupted. So it feels like if a chaos teller came to this story, made it himself, and then he's like, oh, you actually think I'm the storyteller? Okay, well, yeah, I'm the storyteller, like, and they just bought it, and that's why that story continues to go on for as long as it does until now, and hopefully we get to see the new Snow White actually save her mother and doesn't have to witness the actual which was the darkest part of this episode, which I love it so much because this is how it goes. This is how it be. And I thought it was actually going to happen the way oh no, I'm messed up. I thought it was going to happen close to what we were going to see in the actual story, where the queen is pretty much telling us like, yeah, I was Snow White at one time, and I definitely made my mom, do all the things that I was supposed to do. That's why you even have a story, and mind you, the mirror already knew that, so the mirror's like, oh well, this is an easy job. I just got to keep pitting these mother and daughter against each other. Well, your daughter's going to be hotter than you in like 3 days. You better give her an apple, so it's just this weird story that no one's really cared to change. And you guys got to remember too that some of these stories back in the day, they were there were stories like this that they didn't keep the full necessarily how things happen. It's like I remember learning about a story where someone like gets eaten by a crocodile, and then the crocodile itself was just like taken out because it just wasn't as family friendly as something as like a horse nibbling on him the whole time, and then he runs away because the horse won't leave him alone or something. So there's a lot of stories out there that probably have much, much darker types of tales to it, and we honestly don't know what a lot of them are unless you've either A, been there when they had those dark details in them, or B, you can you can do some easy research and find that type of stuff. Like creepypasta and stuff has a lot of the old school folk tales where some of them were meant to be scary, and then some people turn them into happy stories because what if a kid told your kid about it, and then you want to be like, oh no, they told you a messed up version, this is how it really goes, and you know what I mean? So it's really interesting how they tackled this episode. I appreciate it, and guys, I need some type of I need the moment to myself. Okay, there's all the shows I was watching and put it on this channel, everybody was getting their eyeballs poked out and stuff, dying every episode, man. Can I have an episode where I'm just chillaxing? Like, think about it. Tokyo Ghoul, poking Ghoul's eyes out. Goblin Slayer, goblin eyeballs poked out. Dotoro, demon eyes getting poked out. Sword art, human's eyes. I can go on. The list is infinite and beyond. But I'm not going to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next one. I usually use Kingdom Hearts for this, but since Jump Force is out right now, I kind of really enjoy it. And it's a strange, weird feeling of being able to grind and being able to have something to do every time I get on the game, compared to already being done and having everything. So once I get a lot of stuff in this game, I probably will switch it up. So if you guys don't want to see Jump Force, just let me know in the comments, or yeah, just let me know in the comments, because I don't need no dislikes, guys. Come on, cuz. Alright, guys, I'll talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much, my anime people, for the support. I just got an S. Your boy is out here. Give me that gone layout. Alright, everybody, take care and peace.